To survive, he begged his nemesis for dual cultivation. But when it came to that moment, he chickened out. The unconscious Si Joe was carried directly into the sleeping quarters by his nemesis. The red snake from the training class restrained his limbs. Si Joe groaned uncomfortably. Yan Juli suddenly leaned over his fragile neck. Such a slender neck, would it break with just a snap? Without getting a response, Yan Juli moved closer to his ear. Si Joe was suddenly bitten awake. Instinctively, he kicked out, his face full of panic. Yan Juli, what are you doing? The dignified Ghost King attacking someone in their sleep, caught off guard, was kicked in the chest. Yan Juli grabbed his ankle. Attacking, you begged me to save you. Si Joe was so flustered he could barely speak. When did saving someone require lying on top of them? Yan Juli not only did not let go of his ankle, but got even closer. Do you need me to remind you, your soul is shattered, and only dual cultivation with me can restore it? Facing Su De's indifferent face, Si Joe suddenly remembered his predicament. As a disciple of the Immortal Alliance, he aimed to eliminate countless evildoers, but mistakenly entered the Ghost Path. At this moment, he fled to Ghost City, the only place the Immortal Alliance dared not enter. But the Lord of Ghost City was his arch-enemy, Yan Juli. Yet now, only he could save Si Joe. Su De actively sought help, but Yan Juli laughed. Si Joe, you and I are arch-enemies. Why is not your revered senior brother Xu Yanqing here to save you? Si Joe still defended Xu Yanqing. Don't drag my senior brother into this. Yan Juli was displeased. You are about to die, yet you are still thinking about your noble senior brother. Si Joe remained silent. Yan Juli lifted his chin with a folding fan. I will give you two choices. 1. I hand you over to the Immortal Alliance. 2. You kneel and beg me. If you are asking for help, you should show some sincerity. Or do you think your senior brother can rush here to save you now? You should know that I am not a patient person. To survive, Si Joe finally agreed to kneel. Yan Juli pretended not to hear. Si Joe's face turned red with anger. I said I will kneel. Yan Juli suddenly became furious because Si Joe shed tears in front of him. For the sake of survival, he had to kneel before his archenemy. How utterly humiliating. In the end, Si Joe knelt before Yan Juli. Yan Juli took a step back, and Si Joe, still kneeling, moved forward. They continued like this until they entered the Grand Hall. Si Joe gritted his teeth and asked if it was enough. Yan Juli seemed satisfied and said, you may rise. Si Joe shakily stood up, but stumbled and fell into Yan Juli's arms. Yan Juli did not know why he panicked, holding Si Joe and shouting, Your Highness, this immortal soul has been injured by the Immortal Alliance's artifact. He won't live long unless he dual cultivates with someone who can heal ghosts. In the entire world, there is no one more suitable than you, the son of the Ghost King. Immortal, you can save him. So, should I save you or not? In other words, should I sleep with you or not? Si Joe suddenly clutched his sleeve tightly. Sleep with me. If he did not dual cultivate with his enemy, he would die. He still had an unforgettable senior brother in his heart. Now, being forced by his arch-enemy, he remembered, wasn't it you who begged me to sleep with you? Si Joe deliberately corrected, I clearly said sleep with a ghost. Yan Juli pretended not to understand. What is the difference? I am the son of the Ghost King, so I am a ghost. Just waking up and yelling at your savior. Is this how your immortal sect repays kindness? Si Joe could not refute, because just by feeling the spiritual power recovering, does it really mean I have to dual cultivate with him? But I already promised senior brother. Si Joe could not help but feel troubled. You and I are sworn enemies, always wishing to kill each other in the past. Why are you willing to dual cultivate to save me? Yan Juli picked up the wine jar and poured the strong liquor onto Si Joe's chest, making Si Joe curse him for being crazy. Yan Juli enjoyed being cursed. I just love seeing the look of expulsion on the faces of the disciples of the immortal sect. Don't you find it amusing, instead of thinking about your senior brother? Xu Yanqing, why not give up on that? Si Joe blushed and said it had nothing to do with Xu Yanqing, but his expression was clearly unconvincing. And besides, senior brother has always been good to me. At that time, Si Joe was scolded by the master and cried very aggrievedly. Senior brother comforted him by patting his head and took out a spiritual amulet for him. I made this. Enchanted it, for your protection. Don't be sad anymore. Si Joe took the amulet, blushed, and forgot his sorrow. Seeing him lost in thought, Yan Juli could not help but get angry. Still thinking about Xu Yanqing, everyone knows you are devoted to him, but why could not he protect you when you were in trouble? Your senior brother Xu Yanqing is trying to find excuses. He just has unspeakable difficulties. On the day of the siege, senior brother stood in front of him, Si Joe. The ritual of your demonic possession is a fact, and the sect will not tolerate you, but you must hold on. I will help you uncover the truth behind your possession. You must stay alive. Si Joe truly believed that his senior brother would clear his name. As long as he stayed alive, there was hope. So, he made a decisive decision. Stop talking, let us dual cultivate. Yan Juli could not help but tease, begging me to sleep with you. Si Joe blushed with anger. It is dual cultivation, dual cultivation. Yan Juli stopped hesitating and directly pulled open Si Zhou's clothes. Seeing him close his eyes, he felt a surge of irritation. Open your eyes. See clearly who I am. I saw the report that Meng Shu Yanqing requested to see you. Si Zhou panicked and bit Yan Juli. Yan Juli wiped the smile off his face, his expression turning dark. As expected, you panic as soon as you hear his name. Si Zhou instinctively tried to run, but Yan Juli grabbed his wrist and pulled him into his arms. Running, afraid your beloved will see you like this. You care so much about your senior brother. Should I dual cultivate with you in front of him? He agreed to dual cultivate with his nemesis, but his mind was still on his senior brother. He was so furious that he wanted to deal with him right in front of his senior brother, but Yan Juli ultimately softened his heart. He turned Si Zhou into. Yan Juli, with a hint of inexplicable jealousy, said, "Weren't you just thinking about your senior brother while lying in bed? Isn't this me taking you to see your senior brother?" As Shu Yanqing walked in, Yan Juli could not help but speak sarcastically. What brings the #1 young master of Xianming here? Shu Yanqing came to demand someone from him. Yan Juli pretended not to understand. He had always looked down on people from Xianming and acted as if he did not know them. Shu Yanqing sneered mockingly, Si Zhou has known you for 4 years. How can you say you do not know him? Si Zhou instinctively shrank back. 4 years, have I really known Yan Juli for 4 years? When he was 14, Si Zhou was disrupted by Yan Juli in Zhouyao too. You are the Demon King, Yan Juli. 17-year-old Yan Juli still wore that smug smile. So what if I am? Si Zhou swiftly raised his sword and pointed it at him. Today, you obstructed Xianming from capturing demons. I will never reconcile with you. Yan Juli vanished in an instant before his eyes, but Shu Yu came up behind Si Zhou, grabbed his shoulder, and pulled him into his arms. They are irreconcilable. I am really looking forward to you becoming my opponent. I can't believe I have known this annoying guy for 4 years. Shu Yanqing firmly believes that Yan Juli hid Si Zhou. Your Highness must have heard that Si Zhou went mad and ruined the grand plan of the alliance. I have searched everywhere except Ghost City for a place that could take him in. Yan Juli ignored Si Zhou's struggles and gently patted his head. He then turned to Shu Yanqing with a sharp tone. Do you think I would let my enemy stay in the city? I heard you and your junior brother are very close. Where did he go? Do you really not know, or is your bond with him just that shallow? Shu Yanqing stepped forward to explain. After my junior brother went mad, his spiritual power dissipated. If I could find him, I would save him and bring him back. Yan Juli suddenly increased his mockery. Really, can you go against the entire alliance? Can you protect your junior brother? Shu Yanqing's face darkened. Whether I can protect him is my own business. While dual cultivating with his arch-enemy, he was confronted by his love rival. The key was that his arch-enemy resembled his love rival. This completely confused Shizun. Facing the provocative actions of his love rival, Yan Juli lost his patience. What an idiot. The red snake behind him sensed its master's emotions and began to stir. Shu Yanqing looked at Si Zhou in his arms and threatened. Your Highness has so many pets, but this spirit snake seems unruly. I wonder if this cat understands. Yan Juli was furious and took control. How dare you? As soon as Yan Juli finished speaking, the red snake lunged straight at Shu Yanqing. Si Zhou suddenly jumped in front of Shu Yanqing. To avoid hurting him, Yan Juli forcibly stopped and ended up coughing blood. Protected by Si Zhou, Shu Yanqing did not strike back. Your Highness really loves this little brat, does not he? Even getting hurt himself but not willing to harm him. But your cat seems to like me. Yan Juli grabbed Si Zhou and gritted his teeth. Yeah, a traitor. Shu Yanqing glanced at Si Zhou, thinking, His Highness would not lie to me. If he says there is no trace of my junior brother, then there is not. At this moment, Si Zhou was still smiling at him. Senior brother will return to me. I must find a way to survive first. As soon as the others left, Si Zhou turned back into human form. Yan Juli directly grabbed his chin, causing Si Zhou to panic. What are you doing? Yan Juli laughed, continuing our dual cultivation, of course. Don't you want to live? On one hand, you beg me for dual cultivation, and on the other, you risk your life to save your senior brother. By the end, Yan Juli was almost spitting out each word. You love him so much that you are willing to sacrifice your life for him. Huh. The spirit token suddenly fell, and Si Zhou struggled to pick it up. The spirit token my senior brother gave me. This made Yan Juli even angrier. You are lying in my arms, carrying another man's token. Aren't you afraid I will kill you? Just to destroy his rival's token. The Snake Lord slapped his enemy during dual cultivation. Yan Juli was already furious that Si Zhou had a white moonlight in his heart, and he even carried the token during dual cultivation. So, in a fit of rage, he directly smashed the spirit token, making it impossible for him to contact the person again. Enraged, Si Zhou slapped him directly. Yan Juli laughed. Don't forget, your life is still in my hands. Whether you live or die is up to me. If you anger me. Yan Juli stood up and glared at Si Zhou. HMPH, if you do not want to live, I can grant your wish. Si Zhou acted impulsively, but quickly grabbed his sleeve and apologized. Yan Juli wiped away his tears, then reached out to catch them, feeling an inexplicable irritation. Why did he instinctively reach out to catch his tears? But he still decided to demand something in return. Just an apology, you just slapped my face. Do you know that no one in this world dares to treat me like this? Joe still needed his help to restore his soul, so he could not offend him now. What do I have to do to make you forgive me? Yan Juli suppressed a smile. Please me, make me forget the unpleasantness just now. Joe took the initiative to wrap his arms around his neck and quickly gave him a peck, blushing furiously. Is this enough? Yan Juli was greedy. Not enough. You underestimate me. If you want to please me, you need to show some sincerity. But Joe's performance displeased him. Your humiliated look is really disappointing. Before Joe could explain, Yan Juli bit his lip with sharp teeth, cupped Joe's face, and fed him his blood. He still softened and let Joe off the hook. Is this blood enough to temporarily stabilize your soul? Joe was afraid of angering him. Give me some more time, I will figure it out. Yan Juli's mood suddenly improved greatly. You should think it through, after all. The person you secretly love is about to get engaged to someone else. Joe Jin said with a sneer. What did you say? Yan Juli turned and walked out. Didn't he tell you? The engagement is set to take place in a few days at the Qingtan meeting. Qingtan meeting, the day when all families cease fighting. It is only a few days away, you should come to terms with it soon. In order to see senior brother alive, he did not hesitate to beg his mortal enemy. Yet he could not let go of senior brother's rejection and kept his distance from his mortal enemy. But now he heard the news of senior brother's engagement to someone else. Joe picked up the shattered lingdang. Senior brother, have you finally left me in anger? On the day of the Qingtan meeting, Joe sneaked into Xu Yanqing's residence, watching his engagement banquet with someone else filled with laughter and joy. Joe's heart died. In the past, I gave Xu Yanqing the sacred relics of Miaozhong that belonged to my mother and me. Now I should take them back. Joe rummaged through the desk, and finally found them. I need to get back quickly. If Yan Juli finds out I left without permission, it will be troublesome. But he never expected that Xu Yanqing would block him at the door. I knew I was not wrong. Junior brother, it is really you. With Joe's current cultivation, he could not possibly escape unscathed from Xu Yanqing. Xu Yanqing did not give him time to think, directly approaching Joe. I searched everywhere for you but could not find you. Now you choose this moment to appear. Joe was furious. Are you saying I am interrupting your engagement? Xu Yanqing tried to calm him down. Don't get agitated. The poison you got when you subdued the great demon has not been completely cleared. Be careful, the toxins might attack your heart. Joe turned his face away, trying to distance himself. Since you are already engaged, there is no need for you to worry about my affairs. Xu Yanqing then explained the reason for his engagement. Previously, I was accidentally poisoned, and only your yin blood could detoxify me. But now that you have become demonic, your blood has lost its effect. I can only rely on someone with the same yin blood. The son of the Xian sect is merely a tool for me to detoxify and gain power. Today, I have been designated as the next leader of the Xian sect. Once I successfully ascend, I will help you uncover the truth behind your demonic transformation and clear your name. As he spoke, he reached out to touch Joe's face, but Joe dodged. Xu Yanqing angrily grabbed Joe's chin and warned, I know you sought Yan Juli because you had no other choice. I forgive you. I will arrange a place for you to stay, away from the troubles of the world. From now on. This was the first time Joe witnessed Xu Yanqing's shamelessness. Xu Yanqing did not care, you were just momentarily blinded by anger. I will give you time to calm down. I hope you won't disappoint me. With that, he turned and left, closing the door. Joe, overwhelmed with anger, spat out blood, feeling endless regret in his heart. I once thought he treated me differently because he favored me. Now I realize it was all my illusion. Just as Joe was about to collapse again, Yan Juli burst in. Joe thought it was a hallucination. Yan Juli, I did not expect that in my final moments, the one I would think of would be him. Joe spat out another mouthful of blood, seeing Yan Juli panic. He did not want to read into his heart, almost dying, and yet, his most hated enemy risked his life to save him. He bit his lip until it bled. Due to excessive depletion of his true essence, his spirit form flickered. Yes, this character is a fool, ultimately holding onto Joe's body and hitting a wall. At the moment of the fall, he still held onto Joe tightly. When Joe woke up again, he found himself in an ice coffin. He could not believe he was still alive. Not only that, the toxins in his body were completely cleared. But why did Yan Juli sacrifice himself to save me? Joe could not understand. Aren't we supposed to be mortal enemies? At that time, the poison in my body had clearly been suppressed by Yan Juli. Why did it suddenly flare up again after I bumped into Xu Yan? Why does this scenario seem so familiar, just like when I first fell into demonic possession? It felt like someone had deliberately set a trap for me, waiting for me to fall into it. If my initial poisoning and demonic possession were related to the Xian alliance, then I must expose those hypocrites and bring them to ruin. The most crucial thing now is to find Yan Zhuli. He sacrificed himself to save me before, and I do not know how he is now. While searching in the forest, Si Zhou heard a weak cry for help. Recently, he noticed the name of the young man from the Zhu Min sect and realized he was from the Min family. Si Zhou killed the person who injured him. The assassin was dead. Si Zhou immediately approached the young man. Are you alright? Don't be afraid. I will guide you. Who are you? Why were you being chased here? The young man had already climbed up the slope. With all his strength, he handed Si Zhou a note and stammered out the words Zhu Min sect, alliance, and massacre. Then, he stopped breathing. Looking at the contents of the note, Si Zhou suddenly understood. It turned out he was the son of the current leader of the Zhu Min sect. Xu Yanqing, the eldest disciple, was engaged to Min Fuwei. Hundreds of years ago, the Zhu Min sect faced near annihilation during the Hunt War, leaving only one lineage surviving to this day. The alliance had since kept a close watch, even sending the son of the leader to the alliance for long-term exchange and study. A marriage alliance between the two sides was reasonable. But what was he trying to tell me? Thinking further, it must be related to the alliance. Si Zhou took the token of the Zhu Min sect from the young man and transformed into Min Fuwei's appearance. It seems this trip to the alliance is inevitable. Since he and I share the same goal, perhaps I can use his identity to return to the alliance. We agreed to dual cultivate with our mortal enemy to survive, but he ended up sleeping for 300 years. Now that he is awake, he is marrying someone else. In the bridal chamber, Si Zhou tore off the red veil in one swift motion, finally completing the ceremony. I never expected that 100 years had passed since I fell into a coma. Over these 300 years, Xu Yanqing has even replaced the alliance leader and become the current one. Although taking Xu Yanqing's place as the senior disciple was part of the deep investigation into the alliance's plan, clarifying things right away was beyond my expectations. Most importantly, why was I the one who had to wear the veil? Suddenly hearing a noise at the door, Si Zhou immediately quieted down. Just look at our senior brother Fang's footsteps, he is even more anxious than expected. Chen Xiao quickly reminded senior brother Fang to take care of his health. Panicking, Si Zhou hurriedly put the veil back on. The groom's voice outside carried a hint of drunkenness. Since my junior brothers have escorted me back to the bridal chamber, you may return to the banquet. If anyone dares to eavesdrop, do not blame me for being rude. Hearing the approaching footsteps, Si Zhou grew nervous. Why has not he lifted the veil yet? Could he have discovered that I am not who I seem? Suddenly, with a swift motion, the veil was lifted. At the moment Si Zhou saw his face clearly, he froze. The man's expression and appearance were identical to Yan Zhuli. You are my Dao companion, he said, grabbing Si Zhou's wrist directly. Since that is the case, let us get straight to the point. Si Zhou panicked. Wait, what about the toast? He Jingju has not even drunk yet. Si Zhou had spiked the wine earlier, he only wanted to investigate the case, not consummate the marriage. But the man immediately realized the wine had been drugged and assumed Si Zhou was being manipulated by someone behind the scenes, frowning in displeasure. He deliberately tilted Si Zhou's chin. He Jingju, why should we, as Dao companions, be bound by these formalities? Before his hand could touch Si Zhou's neck, Si Zhou instinctively raised his leg and kicked him away. The man's gaze was identical to the one when Si Zhou kicked Yan Guili back then. Si Zhou felt a bit regretful. Damn it, he could not hold back and acted impulsively. Would he be angry? So, he softened his tone and coaxed, we still have to follow the process. Right, only after drinking this wine can we have a lasting relationship. The man remained silent amidst Si Zhou's overly sweet and nauseating coaxing. Suddenly, there was a noise at the door. His face darkened. Those troublesome people, they really came after all. He had no choice but to push Si Zhou down, pulling at his robe with a sound that hit the floor, warning him, if you want to live, act a bit more provocative. Si Zhou's face turned red. This was way too embarrassing. The man thought he would not comply and decisively pinched his arm. The pain made Si Zhou let out a sound. The man rarely praised him, not bad. Now make it louder. Only after the people outside left did he release Si Zhou. Before Si Zhou could catch his breath, the man pulled him into the blanket. Si Zhou tried to struggle. What are you doing? The man replied with a matter-of-fact expression. Obviously, it is to prevent you from getting any funny ideas in. Making a move on me in the middle of the night. Si Zhou was speechless. Xu Yanqing must be blind. How does this guy have even a shred of the demeanor of a successor? Instead, he is acting all smug. Noticing his gaze, the man could not help but tease, staring at me so intently. You are clearly responding to my charm, are not you? Si Zhou deliberately showed a longing expression. Is that not allowed? The man seemed to have let down his guard around him. You are quite sentimental. Get some rest early. Tomorrow, come with me to meet the alliance leader. Thinking of Xu Yanqing, Si Zhou fell into a rare silence. But the next day inevitably arrived. He looked at the man seated high on the throne in the main hall, his gaze terrifyingly cold. Xu Yanqing, we meet again. To stay alive and see senior brother, he begged his mortal enemy with all his might, only to be poisoned and killed by senior brother. Now, his mortal enemy infiltrates the alliance to save him. While the senior brother he longed for used his heart to create a puppet identical to him. Seeing the puppet dressed thinly, Xu Yanqing took off his coat and draped it over him. "Senior brother, how are things outside? Do I still have a chance to leave?" In response to the puppet's question, Xu Yanqing suppressed the darkness in his eyes and gently stroked his hair, explaining, "Because of the demonic ritual, you are still being hunted by the Alliance. If you go out recklessly, your life might be in danger. Just stay here peacefully. I will protect you." The puppet's confused gaze carried a hint of sorrow. Senior brother is now the Alliance leader. Is there still no way? Xu Yanqing's plan carried a trace of tragedy. Senior brother also has his own difficulties. Si Zhou will understand him, won't you? Staring into his eyes, the puppet only felt a sharp pain in his head, and the self-awareness he had barely developed began to fade away. Because Xu Yanqing does not allow him to have thoughts of escaping, as Si Zhou's substitute, he should obediently stay here, always accompany her. When the puppet raised its head again, it still forgot the previous question and smiled, calling out senior brother. Only then did Xu Yanqing pull out a smile, softly responding. But a puppet is ultimately a puppet. Even if it was made from a piece of Si Zhou, it could never replicate Si Zhou's soul. Xu Yanqing not only wanted the puppet to resemble Si Zhou in appearance, but even its gaze and soul had to be identical. At this moment, Si Zhou, walking on the road, sneezed several times. Now that Fang Xuan is not around, it is time to investigate the truth about his poisoning and descent into madness years ago. But passing by Lianjing, he heard some disciples blindly worshipping Xu Yanqing, to the extent that they were diligently cultivating just to be noticed by Xu Yanqing. Just like Si Zhou back then, all his efforts were merely to qualify to stand beside the senior brother. Now he realized that he was nothing but a selfish and despicable hypocrite. He also heard them saying they would die without regret to become the chief disciple of the Alliance leader. Si Zhou could not help but speak up, saying cultivation is for oneself, not to please anyone. As soon as he finished, he was met with the disciples' displeasure. "What do you know? Alliance leader Xu is the #1 in the cultivation world." Si Zhou explained that he was just reminding them not to be blinded by illusions. The person, embarrassed and angry, retorted, "You, a former Alliance member relying on selling meatballs. Not only are you ungrateful to the Alliance leader, but you also dare to slander him." Si Zhou was puzzled. "What do you mean? As the son of the sect leader of Ju Min sect, why would I need to?" These words made several disciples laugh. "Stop pretending. The Ju Min sect's prominent family was wiped out by the Wu clan during the hunt 800 years ago, leaving only your branch. The Alliance leader took pity on you and allowed the son of each family head to come to Xianming for rest." Si Zhou recalled the keywords mentioned by the original master. Before his death, he felt there was some connection between them. Seeing Si Zhou remain silent, the man brought up last night's incident in the room to provoke him. Humiliated, Si Zhou's face turned red, and after a long while, he could only utter one word, despicable. The man suddenly approached Si Zhou, sneering, "Stop pretending to be virtuous. Someone like you." Just as the man's hand was about to touch Si Zhou, someone suddenly grabbed it fiercely. Yan Guili, disguised as Fang Xuan Yi, twisted the man's hand as if to break it. "My people are not for you to judge." For the sake of his mortal enemy, he disguised himself as Xianmeng's senior brother, and ended up marrying his mortal enemy, who was pretending to be his fiancée. Even though Si Zhou had changed his appearance, he still inexplicably attracted him. Seeing someone humiliate Si Zhou, Yan Guili could not hold back and stood up for him. The man blushed upon seeing Yan Guili, clutching his aching wrist tightly. Yan Guili mockingly patted the man's face. "Instead of practicing properly, you dare to bully your fellow disciples. Besides, with that face of yours, you do not even have the capital to use your looks to charm others." Si Zhou thought Yan Guili disliked him, but he did not expect him to defend him. Yan Guili turned to look at Si Zhou. "However, there is one thing I must correct. The fact that you heard his cries last night is your good fortune." Si Zhou felt disgusted by his greasy words, but had to pretend to like them to maintain his persona. Yan Juli noticed his resistance and said, "Let us stay away from these mortals' homes." Si Zhou appeared obedient, but was actually forcing himself to suppress his aversion. Yan Juli could not help but smile at his expression, as his thoughts were written all over his face, making it impossible to ignore. Unlike those hypocrites, he was straightforward and interesting, just like that person. But is he being sincere, or is someone making him say this to gain my trust? Could Xu Yanqing be starting to suspect my identity? After all, we are pretending to be a couple. Yan Juli arranged a new place for Si Zhou. Si Zhou pretended to be confused. "Didn't we just become partners yesterday?" "Why?" Yan Juli laughed. "You can't bear to be apart from me." Si Zhou feared he might regret it, so he quickly explained that he was worried about being disliked. Yan Juli did not understand why he pretended to be close when he clearly resisted him. Si Zhou was focused on quickly refuting him and then leaving, but did not expect Yan Juli to enter the room with him. "Last night, when you kicked me, you were not this obedient." Si Zhou felt alarmed and had to lie, claiming that kick was just a playful act. Yan Juli suddenly grabbed his wrist. He pulled hard and pressed him onto the bed. We continued the unfinished conversation from last night. This time, Si Zhou panicked, blushing and saying it was not dark yet. Yan Zhuli leaned in and retorted, does this kind of thing even distinguish between day and night? What, you do not want to? His expression darkened as he fiercely grabbed Si Zhou's neck. He demanded, who sent you? Seeing Si Zhou remain silent, he tightened his grip. How much did they offer you? Is it worth selling yourself for them? Si Zhou did not understand his meaning, but Yan Zhuli thought he was feigning ignorance. Your relationship with the alliance leader is quite unusual, is not it? The sense of suffocation grew stronger, yet Si Zhou still refused to reveal anything. What nonsense are you talking about? How could I possibly be involved with him? Before he could finish speaking, his pupils suddenly dilated. Damn it, I woke up. Ret ro varid tra go paratrago, and he did not let go of the communist leader. Grass, he shouted. From now on, every word must be followed by action. The captain seemed ridiculous, as if he had encountered someone overseas. What are you trying to do? Yan Zhuli did not believe him. What else? Si Zhou countered with a question. Husband, do you think I have any connection with him? That old man is nowhere near as charming as you. Husband, are you afraid I will run away with him? Yan Zhuli changed the way she asked questions after all of her inquiries were blocked by his evasiveness. Have you been investigating something recently? She deliberately brought up his double. Si Zhou cursed him as a pervert inwardly but answered flawlessly, I am just bored in Xianming. Do I not even have the freedom to gossip? Husband, you are so domineering. Yan Zhuli intentionally pulled off his belt. That is not what I meant, you know. The matter you are investigating in Xianming must be very important to you, right? As her outer garment slipped off, Si Zhou's breathing faltered for a moment. It is just one thing, that is all. Yan Zhuli deliberately pinned him down, disrupting his rational thinking. Tell me, husband, what are you investigating? Si Zhou inwardly panicked, his gaze gradually becoming dazed. In his moment of confusion, he accidentally blurted out the truth, the extermination of the Ming family. He suddenly snapped back to reality, worried that she might learn the truth and kill him too. Silence him. Yan Zhuli's expression shifted, but her face did not turn red. He was not lying. So, was she overthinking it? For now, she decided to spare his life and observe him for a while longer. Still, she could not shake the fear that had haunted her for so many years. I have not had a single moment of life without being watched. As she spoke, she feigned concern and reported Si Zhou. But Si Zhou's face was filled with cold indifference. The words were pitiful. I had to intervene. Fu Wei, you won't blame me for how I treated you just now, right? Si Zhou's attitude towards him has changed a lot, but he needs to play the role of Ming Fu Wei well. Husband had no choice. I only feel sorry for how hard it has been for you, husband. How could I blame you? Saying this, she patted his shoulder to comfort him. Internally, she felt relieved. He survived. He did not seem to react much to my investigation of the Ming family. So it seems he is not allied with those who are after Ming Fu Wei. There is no need to place this bone worm on him. Thinking of this, Si Zhou clenched her fist. Back then, they were sworn enemies. Now, by a twist of fate, they have become allies, but both are using false identities. Just as Si Zhou was planning to send Yan Zhuli down the valley, he dismissed his suspicions about her. Once everyone left, Si Zhou breathed a sigh of relief. She had finally managed to fool them. Little did she know, Yan Zhuli was secretly hiding in the room, caressing a portrait of Si Zhou. Si Zhou, give me a bit more time. I will revive you soon. Back then, Yan Zhuli exhausted his last bit of strength to teleport both himself and Si Zhou back to their meeting point before passing out. When Yan Zhuli woke up, 100 years had passed, and he learned the terrible news that Si Zhou's soul had scattered. Although he was also severely injured, Si Zhou had already been possessed by a demon, and his inner core was tainted with poison. Now, the only way to revive him is to nourish his soul in the soul lamp. Yan Zhuli was unwilling to accept this. You are my arch enemy. How could you die before me? I won't allow it. Even if I have to traverse the 6 realms, I will piece your soul back together and bring you back to my side. And so, Yan Zhuli searched for 200 years. He traveled to every corner of the world, but his power had only recovered by 30%. Now, the demon and ghost realms are at odds, and many are eyeing the position of Ghost King. But Yan Zhuli paid no heed to his subordinates' advice. He never cared for the throne. Only as the Ghost King could he see the wandering souls. If he does not save him, Si Zhou will truly be dead. Now, only one fragment remains unfound, but Yan Zhuli has already located it. Si Zhou, we will reunite soon. Generally, scattered souls drift to places they visited in life. So Yan Zhuli deduced that the last fragment is in Xianming. To facilitate his investigation, Yan Zhuli replaced Fang Xuan and infiltrated Xianming. Now, Yan Zhuli has searched several medicinal bases of the Xianming but has yet to find Si Zhou's soul. Only the forbidden land of Wuwang Mountain remains. After plotting for a long time, Yan Zhuli finally found a way to sneak into the Wen Tuo. But is Si Zhou's last fragment really hidden there? No matter where it is, Yan Zhuli will never give up. Meanwhile, Si Zhou is also worried about Yan Zhuli. Ever since he woke up, he has been using ancient insects to track Yan Zhuli's whereabouts. Yet, to this day, he has not detected even the slightest trace. Additionally, hearing about constant friction between the demon and ghost clans, Seijo fears Yan Juli might have encountered some misfortune. Suddenly, the ancient insect reacted. Seijo sat up in surprise and joy. Where is he? Take me to him immediately. They used to be sworn enemies who could not stand the sight of each other. Now, they willingly cultivate together in the Forbidden Land. Following the ancient insect's guidance, Seijo unexpectedly arrived at the Xianming's Forbidden Land. Suddenly, he overheard the disciples of the Xianming discussing something. He immediately cast an invisibility spell and learned from their conversation that a strikingly handsome man had broken into the Forbidden Land. Unlike the demon and ghost clans they had encountered before, although they were not sure if it was Yan Juli, thunderous sounds were coming from the direction of the Forbidden Land. Seijo only hopes for Yan Juli's safety, even if it means sacrificing himself. When Seijo arrived at the forbidden area, he found a gap in the barrier. Sha Yi had broken through the gap. Yan Juli was still trapped in the illusion of the forbidden area. The illusion manifests the deepest desires of those who enter. Yan Juli's obsession was Seijo. The illusion of him was so real and gentle, but ironically, that version of him was fake. Yan Juli shattered the illusion of Seijo, but felt particularly heavy-hearted. After breaking the barrier, I knocked out the disciples of the Xianming and transformed them into demon ghosts. I deliberately let the Xian clan capture me to buy time and sneak in. Unexpectedly, there was no trace of Seijo's soul here. If even here there is no sign of Seijo, then Seijo. Thinking of this, Yan Juli's palms bled from his nails. At this moment, Seijo was transported behind him. The ancient insect stopped in front of Yan Juli, and the familiar scene made Seijo's nose tingle with emotion. Yan Juli heard about Seijo's Ninen. Yan Juli also thought it was an illusion. I have recognized my obsession and crushed the illusion with my own hands. Logically, the illusion should have been broken by me. Could it be that I have not completely broken the illusion? As he spoke, he ordered the little snake to bite Seijo. Seijo narrowly dodged. Are you crazy? I came here specifically to find you, and you attack me right away. Yan Juli laughed. It is rare that this illusion can dodge my attack and even talk back. Seijo stepped forward to explain that he was not an illusion. Yan Juli did not believe him, shouting for him to prove he was not an illusion. He tore Seijo's clothes directly. Seijo clutched the torn fabric tightly. What are you doing? Yan Juli lifted Seijo's chin. If you were the real Seijo, you would kick me right now instead of reacting like this. I must be crazy, holding on to hope for an illusion, truly hoping it was him. Seijo did not push him away immediately. When he tried to, his body would not move. This is bad. There is something strange about this room. My body feels so weird. But he still had his sanity. No, I can't let this continue. Yan Juli, why does it have to be here? Can't it be somewhere else? But I insist on staying here. After all, if I can't revive Seijo, being with him forever in this void fantasy might be an unresolved matter for me.